Well, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, October 24 brings career gains, learning and travel opportunities, and an eclipse in Libra, which can really make a dynamic change in the way you experience your everyday life. Let's talk about what that means for you. And as we get going, let me introduce myself briefly. Yes, Lori Luthian. I am a Western tropical zodiac and astrologer. I use whole sign houses. I love fixed stars, minor asteroids as great tools. And if you chime in and like, subscribe, and join me here, get that notification bell going, guess what? You're going to get 30 videos a month with all signs content. And it is my passion. So come join me on my channel if you're new. And if you're one of my regulars, welcome back. The only thing I'm sharing with you is every year I do like an offer for you guys, which is my 2025 All Signs bundle. Each video is up to 2 hours this year. And you can just get your sign, of course, but I think the bundle is more cost effective because you can list for Sun, Moon, and Rising. You can get the pre-sale price now till October 31st. And that is going to be me delivering them to your doorstep in the middle of November. PDF guidebook, my advice for you on your sign in the year ahead, the videos that are only offline. They're never on YouTube. You have to purchase them from me because every year I use that to buy equipment. I buy stuff for my channel. I buy new laptops. I get some, video editing guy helping me. I hire my time stamping sister. I use that money as a fundraiser to help the channel grow and help my astrology business thrive. If you want to do that, the easy way to help me is I give you something in exchange. That's my fundraiser this year. If you want to jump aboard, please grab it. In the All Signs, just in the book description box below and pinned to the comments, link to the pre-sale. All right, you order it now, you get it while I'm producing the content, and you get the content in November privately sent to you. After that, the price will be higher and it'll be available for the general public. All right, not online, still private. Okay, so let's get started here about what you got going on, Leo. First of all, everyone's talking about eclipses because this is what it is. It is eclipse season, and we have an eclipse in Libra. This is in your third house. By the way, I will be showing you the sky and I will be breaking it down chronological. We were talking big story first. This is the second eclipse here. You had a solar eclipse here back in solar eclipse here. You had a solar eclipse here back in October 14th of 2023. A solar eclipse is here again at 10 degrees of Libra. Certainly anyone who's a Leo 5 to 15 degrees of Leo feels this one eclipse particularly strongly, but rather positively. I'll be doing a whole video on the eclipse. But obviously, it's going to be a change. Eclipse portals bring destined change connected to your younger sibling, one younger than you, relationships with aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors in neighborhood, writing projects, online social media land. Now, honestly, you could change your neighborhood or change your relationship to your local environment. Your daily life wants to change. How do you navigate your daily life? What do you do on the daily? Sometimes, though, in the South Node is here, it could be letting go of a neighborhood or losing a neighborhood or surrendering a neighborhood. And sometimes that means you're moving. So some Leos are looking at the potential push from this eclipse to initiate a residential relocation in the 12 months that follow. When this eclipse is happening, it's also embedded with a Mercury in the heart of the sun the day before, or 1 or 2 days before the October 2nd eclipse. And I want to remind you that Mercury also has a reset button here. So a reset button from Mercury and the sun conjunct and a reset button from the eclipse. Major changes going on for you regarding your local environment and your neighbors and your online world. And if you have an online business, social media, big changes there as well. We'll dive more into it a bit later. Now, you are somebody who needs to pay attention, as we all do, to the movement of the planets. And so Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Pluto, what are they doing in the big picture story before we go into the week by week breakdown? Let's get into that now. Let's talk about Mars, just because he's in a very long transit through the sign of Cancer, which is your 12th house. And if you are a Leo with addictions and self-undoing, then during his transit through your 12th house from September 4th to November 4th, so all of October, and then back again, January 6th through to April 18th, because of retrogradation, you have the chance to get rid of addictions because Mars will retrograde from Leo. It's all about you. He's going to go back there and he's going to say, like, weed, cigarettes, vape, whatever, get rid of it, time to end it, let it go. Whatever addictions you might have, self-undoing, self-sabotaging, shit that you put up with from yourself, you let it go. However, the 12th house is the house of hospitals, and it indicates that somebody in your life in the month of October or in any of the other dates I mentioned may be in a hospital setting. I know it's going to upset you, but it shows as being an elder because of where Saturn sits. So great grandpa Jones, great aunt Sally, whatever, these kinds of elders may likely be in a hospital setting for some of you, and it could potentially be also connected to inheritance, but we'll explain why later. Finally, Mars likes to travel, and this is a foreign shores house, and some of you might go off gallivanting to far off foreign shores in the month of October, or if not, then January 6th to April 18th. Keep it in mind. Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini, where he's blessing you with great career gains and increases of your prosperity through elder sibling, one above you, or blessings and prosperity through friends, benefactors, and allies. The plentiful God is in the house of his own joy in the 11th. Fairy Godfather and Santa Claus, all bundled up, are trying to make you richer from your career, more successful in your career, more recognized in your career. The gains of the 10th house are in the 11th. But you also can expand your social networks, friendship groups, and bring teachers, guides, and really important people into that. And you may join a spiritual community or a learning community while Jupiter transits the 11th house through till next June. Now, he will retrograde in October on the 9th, and the point of the retrogradation on the 9th is that as he goes back in the sky and retrogrades, you're very likely to find friends from your past coming back, colleagues and co-workers from your past coming back, or a deeper, more profound connection to an elder sibling as well, one above you. Between October the 9th retrograde and all the way through to February, Pluto goes direct October the 11th, finishing a story that started in 2008, and that story began in your 6th house. Lots of transformation around debt, money owed to governments, banks, mortgages, lots of transformation, death and rebirth is 2008 in the house of service and work. Pets, a lot of you lost pets. Pets passed away during the 2008 time period, and a lot of deep transformation around rental property opportunities, and maybe turbulence as you were learning to find your true source of power through the calamities of Pluto in your 6th house, burning off karmic debt as well. So keep that in mind. That's about to end. Pluto is leaving there on November 19th and never comes back. But on October the 11th to the 19th of November, this is all systems go. The final rewards, the final lessons are given. And in your chart with a flow to Uranus in your 10th house, those final lessons can look a lot like career success and wealth from career showing up in spades. Let's go to Mercury and Venus. Mercury's faster moving, so let's talk about him first. He begins the month, September the 26th, moving through to October the 12th in the sign of Libra. He's got some dignity there. This is where things go really well when it comes to short distance travel, communications, projects, online social media matters. Great for marketing and selling or pitching something to the world, starting a course, beginning to learn something in a course or teach a course. And when Mercury's here, communications with extended family members, aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews can go wildly on the increase for some reason. And if you're an author, this is ideal for writing a book or finalizing a book or getting a deal or a contract for a book publisher. For some of you Leos, that might be true. Then Mercury will leave there October 13th and move through to November 1st into Scorpio, your 4th house of home, property, land, and real estate. And hey, with Saturn traveling through your 8th house of mortgages, there's a strong possibility that some of you may list your property for sale or buy a property or sell your property. Those matters for those of you who are property owners are very possible. But also with Venus lingering in your 4th house, and we'll get to that, this can look like legacy wealth from a grandfather, grandmother, or an aging elderly parent, and a passing or hospital setting stories. So you're going to see once we get Mercury into that part of your chart, and Venus will be there too, those can happen. A dreamy 3-day period, October 13th to October 16th. Both Venus and Mercury will be in Scorpio in your 4th house. What I like about this time frame is it's really ideal for that listing of a property, taking the offer, making an offer to buy a property, renegotiating a mortgage, refinancing a mortgage, all of those things, getting a mortgage, all of those things are really great for you guys, October 13th through the 16th. When Mercury's in the bottom of the sky, there may be a lot of communications October 13th and November 1st with family members from your, of origin, mom, dad, people you grew up with. And suddenly there's a lot of conversations, phone calls, and emails with those people. Or in the place you live, there's a lot of communication, or maybe even socializing in your home, having groups of people over, playing games, having fun. Now, Venus will move into Scorpio, that's your fourth house, on September 22nd and be there to October 16th. Well, she's there for that time frame until October 16th. You may decorate your home, redecorate your home, have a friend visit who's a female in the home, find beauty and joy and pleasure and fun and play in the home, especially when Mercury's there. 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, that's really a social time in your home. And when Venus is in the fourth house, it's like finding the joy and the beauty in your private life. It's the midnight hour. Being home and in your home and enjoying the home are very highlighted for you. September the 22nd to the 16th of October. On October 17th, though, Venus will get into the house of sexuality and romance, and that could be a really good time for single Leos, sun, moon, or rising, to engage in a new romance. Again, October 17th to November 10th, the romantic bells are dinging for you. Dingle, dingle, dingle. And you might meet a romantic partner through social groups, friends, and friends introducing you to someone during that time. If you're already with somebody and you're an egg bearer female, then you can get pregnant. And if you're a man, your woman can get pregnant. And therefore, it's a fertility transit for pregnancy. But if you want to have a child, Jupiter is looking at the pregnancy house in the 11th, you could get one. So it's pregnancy time, October the 17th for younger ones listening, to November the 10th. If you're an artist, your art skills improve. If you're an entrepreneur, your entrepreneurial business will thrive. October the 17th to November the 10th. And your innocence, wonder, and joy of life as you pursue fun, enjoyable, and leisurable activities is on the rise as well. October 17th to November the 10th. Now, we're going to move away from those fast-moving storylines. Oh, did I say the right thing? Yeah, October 17th and November 10th. And we're going to show you the sky. I am going to show you the sky. There's no we here. It's just me, unless it's my multiple personalities. The three faces of Eve, like I'm giddy from recording, Leo. It's been a long day. Let's move us over to share. This is the sky. Please tell me I have it queued and ready to share. I thought I did. Not yet. Let me get it. I was so sure I did, but it's going to be ready for you in 30 seconds or less. It's here somewhere. Yes, there it is. So what I'm sharing with you is a picture of the sky that I'm going to scribble all over. So a lot of you asked me to do that. So I'm doing, you asked to see the sky, but I can't rotate the wheel. It won't work, but I can show you the sky. So this is a Leo rising on the left, right? That's sun, moon, or rising. You can listen for sun as if it's first house, moon as if it's first house. Sun is about your career and purpose, moon is about home and body, and the rising sign is everything about you. So let's start off at the beginning. There's the eclipse that's happening here, October 2nd. At the same time, Mercury the day before in the heart of the sun. There's a lot of new beginnings here. It's going to be intense, but powerful and wonderful, I hope, because this eclipse energy cycles over to you in a sextile. You don't mind it. But a new beginning regarding those neighbors, neighborhood, friends, family, and reset your button. New writing projects, new commercial endeavors, new business projects are percolating. New online social media projects or success stories open up for you as this eclipse and the Mercury Sun conjunction occurs. But you might have to let go of something. The South Node here. Maybe you have to let go of one thing to open up to a new. When your fist is clenched, you can't receive. So something is letting go, so something new can begin. And the relationship with a sibling, one younger than you, if you have one, is very much in the thrust of this part of the sky. And then we move onward and we see that we have Mars during that eclipse trining Saturn. And this is important. This is indicating, like, between the 1st and the 4th of October, Mars is activating a huge amount of energy for quitting an addiction and getting rid of a bad pattern and breaking karmic ties, Saturn in the 8th house. But this is where the possibility of hospitalized elder can show up in the story. You may see a sudden, shocking, surprising hospitalization of an elder person from your family of origin. Now, Venus exalts your 8th house of inheritances, and she is here. And she forms a grand trine with hospital, isolation, chunky money, family of origin, legacy, wealth. That energy is really activating October the 4th through to the 10th as Venus trines both Saturn and then also Mars. There is something about this that suggests that, well, Venus is indeed in exile and Mars is fallen, that Saturn is the strongest planet, that through some fortunate but difficult circumstances, there's greater prosperity connections coming your way between October 4th and the 9th. And it's very much connected, or the 10th, to legacy wealth, inheritance money, bank mortgages, refinances, ability to pay off credit card debt or mortgage debt, abilities to find solutions to addictions that plague you, that come from your family of origin and your childhood traumas or childhood family line propensity for addiction, and breaking free of the karmic shackles of addictions, self-undoing, and self-sabotage. All very powerful for all of you, Leos. Now, technically, this sky is positive, but it can also be in difficult houses, 12, 8, and 4. So I'm not saying it's a breezy first week of October through to the 10th, but it has powerful transformation for you. And if you're a spiritual type, this is all the liberation moksha houses, 4, 8, and 12. And so your spiritual liberation from breaking the shackles of karmic patterns and childhood wounds is very much on the menu at this time. Saturn represents also your second born child, and there may be some major transformations regarding that relationship. And Jupiter is your firstborn child, and he's up here. And although he's not directly involved in this story, he's still potentially involved because Venus rules the house of the eclipse, and she's talking to him. Well, no, sorry. I apologize. Sorry. It might be involved because the eclipse happened here, and the eclipse is talking to him. And then Venus is the lord of the eclipse over here. So also I say both of your children, first and second born, can be muddled up in the transformative karmic pattern breaking shifts that are happening in your life in that first 9 or 10 days of October. Mercury will square Mars. That's never an easy story, but it is here. Mars squares always look like conflict and combat or difficulties, friction, and urgency around decisions. Mercury is here, and Mars is here, and the square is happening around October 4th. Difficult conversations with a younger sibling or through a younger sibling, challenges around travel plans or educational plans, situations where your own self-undoing or a hidden enemy sort of blocks your progress regarding travel, learning, social media, or a younger sibling. Or there's a difficult circumstance with a younger sibling and the word hospital, and you're going to see that as a possibility, not a probability, around October the 4th. On October the 7th to the 9th, Venus is trining Mars, but Mercury is trining Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is here, and Mercury is here. This is extremely positive for your career. This is like an elder sibling and a younger sibling collaborate to support something good happening in your life, because it forms a lovely little mini triangle to you. Or something is going to increase your wealth and prosperity from your career gains suddenly, shockingly, surprisingly. I'll go Uranus up there, and it connects you as prosperity is blessed to you from a sibling one older than you. But it also could have to do with travel, trips, social online media world, local neighbors and neighborhood. South Node suggests letting go of a neighborhood. Maybe an elder sibling helps you change your neighborhood. Maybe you also prosper from a sudden career raise, and it's connected to your work, and travel is connected to this opportunity as well. This is a beautiful energy. It's happening October 7th to the 9th. It can only happen this way once every 12 years. October 13th, 14th, the sun is trining Jupiter. Don't forget, Mercury started the business up on 7th and 9th. The sun consolidates that with the follow through on October 13th and 14th. Again, what is going on, guys? The eclipse is here. Are you massively changing your neighborhood or relationship to sibling younger? Is there some dramatic positive development regarding your career gains? It may involve writing, social media, teaching, learning, traveling. Can't tell you what. You tell me in the comments later on. Sun will square Mars. Mercury squared Mars already back on October 4th. Now the sun squares Mars. Conflict, tension, right? For Mercury to begin with, like I said, you have a conflict with a sibling or bad news about a sibling in a hospital. Now, when we see this energy of the sun, which usually represents purpose and career matters, square Mars, it may be that there's some conflict going on between obligations you have in your career, but technically the sun is a ruler of you. The sun is the planet that rules you, the Leo. So it's really connected to you too. So you're in some kind of conflict. Maybe you want to travel and there's a conflict of interest and you're not able to. Maybe you've got obligations to some other situation in your life. Or maybe there's some kind of conflict with an aunt, uncle, cousin, niece, nephew, or neighbor who treats you like a hidden enemy, you know? Anyway, so some really gritty sky here, local neighborhood, local environment, conflict, maybe conflict with sibling, younger, etc. Again, October 13th to the 14th. Mercury squares Pluto October 13th to the 14th. There's a really hard communications going on. There's Mercury, there's Pluto. This kind of creates this T-square. Well, Mercury at the end of Libra squaring Pluto. There may be major conversations with siblings, a younger sibling, aunt, uncle, cousin, niece, and nephew, or friend from your childhood. This difficult, penetrating, deep, and profound, transformative. It may be conflict around money owed, debts owed, people owe each other money. Who owes you money? Do you owe someone money? Where is this conflict arising? Debts are the sixth house. With Capricorn ruling what Pluto's discussing with Mercury, it can be about money connected to inheritances and money connected to shared resources with other people. And in this case, we're looking mostly at the other people probably being like childhood friends, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, and younger sibling. Or responsibility financially for another person, and it's weighing down here, and there's some intensity of conversation around it. Now, moving forward onto October 14th and 15th, what we see then is October 14th to the 15th, Venus opposite Uranus. Well, she's also trining Neptune. Good and bad is sweet and salty, sweet and bitter, whatever. So Venus opposite Algol. She gets, Venus will be here and she'll make an opposition to Uranus, but she will trine sextile. Yep, trine Neptune. And that's sextile there. Okay. A wedge breaks up problems and makes a breakthrough happen. So we have a breakthrough energy coming through the sky for you, October 14th to the 15th. The breakthrough energy is coming through Venus, the faster moving planet. And yes, she's in detriment, but still she exalts where Neptune sits. So let's talk about what it might mean. Breakthroughs regarding property, land, home, inheritance, legacy wealth. Matters to do with refinancing property, mortgages and debts, stock market monies, but mostly with Venus in the fourth house, property, land, real estate, childhood, legacy wealth, mom and dad, finance, money, elder. Saturn is co-present with Neptune. And Algol is a wealth star in the 10th house and it's ruled by Venus in the fourth. So wealth coming off of your family of origin, connected as well to your public reputation, social standing, and status. That can look like getting rich and moving on up, the old Jeffersons, moving on up to the big time, moving up to a new social echelon, moving up into the realm of someone who's got some money. Maybe because, again, an elder female is going to dispense some money upon you, as an example. It doesn't have to be way elder than you, but an elder female. And let's move on to October 17th. Well, Venus will then come into a square with Pluto. She moves to the 29th degree of Scorpio. Deep dive wealth can happen here. This is like moving into your karmic rewards. Is a chunk of money. So that's a wealth yoga, a wealth sextile. So you're going to have some wealth coming through the sky for you, connected to your ancestral line, your ancestral karma, your family of origin, your karmic debts you've paid off through your hard service of the last 16 years. But otherwise, you're having some deep, profound conversations around the family of origin in relationship to romantic love, sexuality, and money. And you may be having some breakthrough insights of things that were hidden hidden from view as Pluto excavates some hidden mysteries of your childhood and reveals something to you profound about wealth, money, debt, and service. October 17th. On October 22nd, Mercury trines Saturn. There's Saturn. Mercury will be in Scorpio and he'll flow to Saturn. He will be here by then. So he'll be here. So this is a trine. This is a flowing energy. This is nice, right? So Mercury moves here and then there's a flow. So when we look at October 22nd, commercial stuff like buying, selling, and conversing, and deals and contracts and negotiations in and from the home around property, land, and real estate, and connections to chunks of money that you share with your spouse, significant other, or with inheritance money, or some unexpected source of prosperity from somebody else. And that looks like a conversation that's possible or activity. It certainly can look like refinancing a mortgage, buying and selling a property, getting a home equity loan, those kinds of things, October 22nd. October 23rd to the 25th, we finished with a glorious sky. We got to love it. The whole last week of October feels like a blessing compared to the rest of the month. What we have happening at the end of the month, is we have Mars in your 12th house. He is in a flow to Uranus of the god of the unexpected and shocking on fixed star Algol in your 10th. And he is also flowing to Saturn, and Saturn is flowing to this Uranus, and that's a mini grand trine. The first part is a surprise, October 23rd to the 25th, as Mars sextiles Uranus. Again, hospital, sick person in the hospital, sick elder in the hospital, surprise, great aunt Janine, great uncle, Bertrand gave you money on his deathbed or in the hospital or something like that, or unexpected opportunities from foreigners and foreign places that level up more success in your career, chunky money that can come from some kind of career endeavor that connects to international borderless income and revenue. The energy here is good. It's positive. It flows. It looks like career, chunky money, unearned income, basically. And 12th house matters to do with your backroom deals and negotiations, addictions, sudden shocking breakthrough around addictions because you see through the family patterns. Sudden divulging of family secrets from the ancestral line connected to the grandparents or the elders that shocks the bejesus out of you, but leads to some great breakthroughs in your career. Because at the same time, Mercury will end up down here, absolutely opposite Algol, we get this idea of an arrow. I can't wait to do that week ahead. What is that arrow telling us? Things sourced in the family of origin, ancestral line, and childhood, and information or knowledge or communication about it can rocket ship you up to some surprising career developments that can be very successful, especially if you want to do things in the behind the scenes and off the center of the stage, behind the scenes that negotiate better gains for your finances in your career, that too. Ultimately, that Mercury Algol combination with elements to do with the 8th house look also like really exciting and shocking or surprising or unexpected or just exhilarating ability to get that financial thing to click when it comes to your home, property, land, and real estate, and finance situations like mortgages, loans, and credit cards, okay? Because Pluto could help you eliminate all of your debt to mortgages, banks, and credit cards as he gives his last gasp October 11th to November 19th in the house of debt, and maybe says, I'll leave you some money as I part ways. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Don't forget to check out Sky Reader if you have time, because by the 28th it starts, and I may not keep the card open for latecomers. So if you want to join Sky Reader, be your astrologer, time your best life, your last chance to jump in, check the description box below for enrollment details. Otherwise, buy my All Signs a pre-sale bundle. You won't regret it. It's always a bestseller every year, but it helps me fund the channel and buy the equipment I need and get the support and staff I need to grow my business here and to continue to produce content. That's my way of asking for money, by giving you something that you'll never find on YouTube. Up to 2-hour videos for each sign, and you can buy the bundle for a real deal. Share with friends and family. You get the gist. And that material will never be on YouTube. Thank you. Not that material, not the deep dive with the PDF guides. So thank you for listening. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next videos.